So the kick is where I usually like to start. I usually kind of figure out the drive of the song. It's usually hip hop or hip hop driven. Even pop music is all hip hop driven at this point. So it's about understanding that mentality for me, and that mix style works for me. I'll walk you through each decision. This decision was the recording engineers. He decided to pull out a little bit here on these kind of lower frequencies. Maybe something was bugging him. I don't necessarily need to second guess that decision. If that was a decision he felt like he needed to make, I stick with it. Now it's about what do I need to do to this kick to get it to really stand out and really shine based on what I want to do. You know, my go-to lately has been the UAD pull tech. Sometimes the voice of God. You guys probably have heard me talk about this before. If you're new to this, to me and to Mix with the Masters, you'll get to know me on how I do, the UAD stuff. So I go to the pull tech, and for me, it's about making bold moves when it comes to low end. I like to get as much punch and as much hit out of the low end stuff as I can. Most of the times without distorting. Sometimes distortion is cool. In this particular case, it's just about really getting a nice punch. So, a lot bolder. And again, you can make bold moves. That's the one thing I've learned as I talk to younger engineers and students and whatnot. One of the disconnects is a lot of younger engineers don't feel like they can give themselves permission to make bold moves. Things like this on the EQ, and people be like, man, I didn't know you could push that much on the kick. I thought I had to do parallel compression and all this stuff and all this other stuff. And sometimes, again, back to the simplest thought, turn it up, make it bang. If you want to bring out way more low end on the EQ, crank it. Crank that thing until it sounds good and feels good. Don't worry about what number you're on the dial, or I didn't think I could turn it up that much. No, you can give yourself permission to make this thing crank as much as you need it to crank and to get the result you're looking for. It's all about the result. And I kind of want to see what the kick and the 808 or the bass is doing at that particular point. Those are the things in the low end. You're trying to see the things that have the heaviest low end information. You want to see how they're going to work together. Are they going to fight? Are they going to clash? Are you going to get some rubbing? Is it going to sound crazy? So it's all of those things you got to kind of figure out. So we listen to this sound, and I want that to be thick. I want that to take up a lot of space. Since the beat is sparse, I can make bold moves in the body and the low end, and I can really get in there. Again, look at the decision that was made first. Recording engineer decided, hey, I want to pull out a little bit of, I think that's about 100. Fine with me. He also did a huge press on the compression. Again, fine with me. Oh, he actually didn't do anything. So I'm just looking at it. But as I listen, compressor isn't even doing a thing. So I can leave the compressor disengaged. And then here's where I come in. This is me again. Bold moves. Now it's to see if they work together. Now it's trying to understand, not necessarily focusing on the word quick, but it's about making, concise decisions, moving along, trust your instinct. The decisions you usually make, I tend to get the core of a mix on a song in about 45 minutes. The decisions you make up front, the decisions you tend to make instinctively, the first choice, the first decision, usually tends to be the right one. So a lot of times, that's the other thing through, is about moving through the song, making decisions. As you can see, and this is kind of my pace when I mix. It's probably a lot slower right now because I'm explaining things. But as I mix, I'm like engaging that plugin. I'm literally doing this. I'm literally going. And then I engage, I boost up to where it's boosted. I may move the knob a bit to kind of find where I need to be, and then I'm off of it. I may spend a couple minutes on that and I'm off. And then I make the decision to move on. And then once these two work together, I'm good.